Queen in all but name. In this Once Upon a Woman video, I'm discussing with you the incredible fate and life of Diane de Poitiers, one of the most powerful, influential and well-known French royal mistresses. She was the mistress of Henry II of France, but more importantly, I truly believe that she was the love of his life. And what I mean by that is that it was more than a just sexual relationship. It was a real partnership. He trusted her, he believed in her. She was almost 20 years older than him, and because she had been his tutor, they had a very strong bond where she was the one teaching him and he was the one learning. The bond between them is obviously something that shook the French court and that incredibly hurt Catherine de Medici, Henry II's of France's wife and queen consort, and it's not too difficult to imagine why. But who was truly Diane de Poitiers? How did she acquire so much wealth and so much influence? What was she actually doing at Henry II's of France court? Did she have any actual power? Let's find out. Diane de Poitiers was born on the 9th January 1500 and she died on the 25th April 1566. She was the daughter of Jean de Poitiers, Seigneur de Saint-Vallier, and Jeanne de Béthernay. She became a keen athlete and kept a fit figure by riding and swimming regularly, remaining in good physical condition for her time. Diane was educated according to the principles of Renaissance humanism, including Greek and Latin rhetoric, and she learned also about law and architecture. She was a real patron of the arts. Renaissance artists were avid to depict a mistress renowned for her beauty, and Diane became to embody Diana, the goddess of hunting. She is highly romanticized during the reign of Henry II. She's truly one of a kind. She doesn't seem to age, she's incredibly beautiful, but she's also, more importantly, incredibly smart. At the age of 15, she was married to Louis de Brézé, Seigneur d'Annay, who was 39 years her senior. He was a grandson of King Charles VII by his mistress, Agnès Sorel, and served as a courtier to King Francis I. They had two daughters, Françoise and Louise. Shortly after marriage, Diane became a lady-in-waiting to Queen Claude of France, so by the side of Anne Boleyn. After the Queen died, she served in the same capacity to Louise of Savoy, the King's mother, and then Queen Eleanor of Austria. Diane de Poitiers was really aware of the courtly games, and she had been put into the middle of the court and scandals of the French court very young. She understood the politics really well. Her husband died in 1531 in Annette, and Diane adopted the habit of wearing black and white for the rest of her life. In 1533, Henry II married Catherine de Medici. It is generally believed that Diane became his mistress from 1534, when she was 35 years old and Henry was 15. But before that, she had become Henry's tutor. Diane remained Henry's lifelong companion despite him being with other women such as Philippa Ducci, Janet Fleming, or Nicole de Savigny. What I'm trying to tell you here is that Henry II didn't only have one mistress, but he had one love of his life, and that person was Diane de Poitiers. She played a very important role during his reign. She was allowed to sit in the Privy Council. She exercised important political power. She made lots of friends, power friends, especially the Guises. When Mary Stuart arrived at the French court, she really took her under her wing, which was going to create a lot of friction and disagreements between Catherine de Medici and Mary Stuart. Mary Stuart really loved Diane de Poitiers. She wrote to her mother, Marie de Guise, how much she admired Diane de Poitiers and how much control and influence, political influence I'm talking about here, Diane de Poitiers had at the French court. I think Diane de Poitiers was a role model for Mary Stuart. Diane de Poitiers really acquired her wealth with the death of her husband and the fact that she decided not to marry again and to become just a royal mistress, but also with all the favors she received from Henry II. It is her charm, but also her political decisions that were going to make her a very wealthy, noble woman. She had enemies, but she didn't fear them because she had strong supporters, as I said, the Guises. She was an independent widow, she was in charge of her finances, she was an independent woman in the 16th century. It's no doubt that she created this type of role model for women. Even Catherine de Medici, who probably despised her a great deal because of the jealousy, because of the fact that they loved the same man, must have, learned from Diane de Poitiers herself and how she was conducting herself when she became herself a widow in 1559. One of the incredible stories of Diane de Poitiers is that she was going to help the royal couple conceive children. And here I describe it very much in details, in graphic details, in my book, Blood, Fire and Gold, because it really impacted Catherine de Medici. She had to swallow her pride and accept the help of the woman who was basically stealing her husband. But Diane didn't want Henry II to have another consort, so when there was risk of reputation of Catherine de Medici, she made sure that the couple would conceive, and it worked. She prepared Henry II until he was ready and then sent him to his wife. And that tactic, I don't know, apparently it worked, and Catherine de Medici, Henry II, in the end, had 10 children. The relationship between Catherine de Medici and Diane de Poitiers is very complicated because in truth, Diane de Poitiers was queen in all but name. She had a seat at the Privy Council and she was extremely influential, and Henry II really listened to her. What's very interesting though is towards the end of his reign, towards his death, right? In the 1550s, late 1550s, he was starting to listen more and more to his wife and having a real partnership with her. He made Catherine de Medici a regent when he went to the Italian wars. It's thanks to Catherine de Medici that France regained Calais, because she made this brilliant speech trying to help to get funding, and she did. And so here Diane was kind of losing her influence little by little. But obviously then Henry II died in 1559. She left Diane with lots of her wealth and royal privileges, but she took back Chenonceau, the royal jewel of the French monarchy. And so here it's quite interesting how Diane was still very powerful, because the truth is, you can see, but Catherine was just very nice or very compassionate. Actually, Catherine didn't have much choice, because as I said, Diane de Poitiers, the fact that her rise and her incredible fate is not just linked by the fact that she was the royal mistress of Henry II. Obviously, it played a huge part, but it was the fact that she had very powerful allies, such as the Guises, but also other very powerful noble family. She could not be completely attacked. I'm sure Catherine de Medici would have loved to do more, because she suffered years and years of humiliation when Henry II and Diane de Poitiers were at the court. It was not, I call about it a ménage à trois, but at the same time it really wasn't, because Catherine was the third wheel, completely overshadowed by Diane de Poitiers. Diane de Poitiers is a very interesting historical figure because she's so powerful, she's so beautiful, but also because she's so intelligent, and she maneuvered the different traps and scandals of Francis I's court at first, and then Henry II's court. She really established herself as a very political player in Henry II's court. And I think that's why we need to remember her for. That woman played really well the cards she was given in a male-dominated world in the 16th century. I really hope that you enjoyed this Once Upon a Woman video and you enjoyed this Women's History Month. I'll see you next time for another video, and I'm so grateful for your support. Bye!